Save Game Review. Hi everyone, and welcome to today's video where I'm going to be reviewing some more of your save games. That's right everyone, this is our 11th save game review, and let's take a look at what we have for today. Now you guys know that so far I've gone in order of what the saves were posted, and that's how I got these saves for the save game reviews. But in the last couple of videos there have been lots of Georgias, Mamluks, Irans, Persias, and stuff like that. Byzantiums, you guys know, according to what got updated in 1.36, and even though we did so many of those, all of the next save games are pretty much those. So that's why for today's video I decided to do something different and just scroll through the save games you guys posted and pick out some campaigns that maybe we haven't seen too much of, or any at all, or just campaigns that seemed interesting to me based on what you guys wrote up. And this is what we have for today. For the first campaign right here, we have a Prussia campaign in the 1642. We haven't seen one of those in a while, so let's go back to them. Then for our second campaign right here, we have Florence to Italy, a tall run, 1693. Once again, a similar date right here. And then for our final campaign, we have a Papal State, but this player titled it The United Papal States. What's up with that? I think we have a very interesting save game to review right here, almost at the end date for our final one. So that's pretty much it. Without further ado, let's jump into our first save game of the day, this Prussia campaign by Taco on December 4th, 1642. Alright, here we are in our little Prussia campaign, and obviously, we can tell right off the bat that this player was going for sort of historical-ish borders or something like that, but maybe nice opportunities rose up for the player to conquer, additional provinces over here from Poland or over here from Riga and the Livonian Order. But, I'm liking these borders, even with the slight border war here and there. Let's jump into the Great Powers list. We are number 2 on the Great Powers list. About 40-ish dev above Russia, below the Ottomans. Obviously, in a Prussia campaign, you would expect to be this big, sort of the early and mid-game are, focusing on the region of Germany, so to say. But yeah, we got this 515 Emperor right here, level 5, 4 and 2 advisors, focusing on admin as well. Interesting, making lots of admin points, not, no advisors level 5 over here and over here, but we'll take a look at why that is pretty soon. Going over into the government tab, we have Prussian militarization, but of course not all the way maxed out, so we'll see if this is a negative or not. Max absolutism of 69, current absolutism 48, but obviously in a non-blobbing campaign you don't really care about this. Lots of cultures promoted and accepted, actually just Polish promoted, but no big deal on that. In the diplomacy tab, let's see right here, allied with the US, interestingly enough, that exists, France, Castile, Portugal, and Genoa, so pretty strong allies right here. And we do have a coalition going against us, with these nations having joined Denmark, Hungary, Krakow, and whatnot, but pretty powerful nations in the coalition as well. And we have quite a few subjects too. We can take a look at that right now. So it's Moldavia, okay, very nice, Galicia, Volhynia, Kiev, Chernigov, Switzerland, and Polotsk. So pretty cool vassals that you can potentially reconquer some of their cores, for example, or expand in a region where you yourself don't want to expand. And he is guaranteeing the independence of the US. Moving over in the economy tab, making very nice income, about 115 ducats a month right here. A gold mine in Intel, but it hasn't been developed up to 10. As we can see, it's only up to 4, so a little negative on that. Obviously, you wouldn't be expecting to make too much from trade with this Prussia right here. You need major control of the Baltic and Lubeck and stuff like that to really at least get some decent trade up. So this isn't a negative specifically for this Prussia campaign. Everything aside from that looks pretty good. Yeah, not a very big share of trade at all, expected, like I said. Goods produced 15%. Maybe you would like to have more by this point, but we'll see if it's a negative or not. I'm also noticing very few forts, man. I know lots of players don't like to play with forts and stuff like that. Where's the capital though? In Königsberg. Okay, yeah, so maybe this is too little forts for the amount of army tradition you want as Prussia, but we'll see what's up with that. In the tech category right here, ahead of time in every tech, nothing to knock over here. And in the ideas, we went with Diplo, quality, admin, offensive, economic. So even though this is a Prussia campaign and you want to focus heavy on mill, obviously this player has chosen to go with a non-mill idea group first, and then a mill idea group. But Diplo and admin, as good as they are, man, I don't know if they help out too much in a super militarized campaign like this. Maybe you'd rather go with idea groups that you target specifically for the policies that you get with them. For example, innovative for the combatability and stuff like that, or something like that, even though it might not be too relevant. So, you've already picked up quality and offensive. Obviously, defensive is the next one you want to go with here. Economic is pretty great. You got that policy for the artillery combatability and the discipline. So economic is a must in a Prussia playthrough. But yeah, these ideas aren't bad. It's just if you want to focus more heavily On the military, I'd like to see innovative right here, but these are excellent idea group picks, so no minuses over here from me. In the missions, not a lot to take a look at, man. Prussia's mission tree isn't very massive, and some of the missions are annoying to complete, like these ones, for example, so nothing really to comment on over here. Okay, we got the vassal stuff, the tanks, let's see, artillery combat, discipline. Yeah, no need to activate these, honestly, so you're good on that as well. You can form Germany, no need to if you don't want to. Not over Goth cap, which is always nice to see. No unrest or anything like that. Max stability, very nice. And we are Protestant right here, although you do have quite a few reformed provinces, but it's really not a big deal. You'll convert these as you go along. Your subjects are whatever they are, Orthodox or something like that. So we're chilling right here. We got the -1 nationalist, the discipline, and the cost of advisors with rulers, blah, blah, blah. You can, of course, pick up the morale if you want to go even more militarized. And yeah, maybe the monthly autonomy impact, but all of these Protestant power thingies, they're really good. So nothing negative to say on that either. In the military tab, the most important thing as Prussia, obviously, almost max professionalism. That's great. 30% infantry combat ability, 10% cav, 20% artillery. That's very nice. Pretty good army tradition. Great morale, very nice discipline, as always, above 130%. Pretty good force limit 2. Combat width is 34, so yeah. If these armies are merged, then yeah, you're good. If this is one army, then you're chilling, right? But if it's two separate armies, yeah, composition is not that good. Maybe it's like this, actually. Yeah, maybe it's like this one with this one, that one with that one. Either way, it doesn't matter. If you merge them in any way, you'll be pretty good, at least with the, you know, combat width and stuff like that. And in the subjects tab, all of these guys are rebellious, but you could, of course, tell them to divert trade. And in the estates, almost 100% crown and ownership, while these guys still have a bunch of privileges active. So that's excellent. This is exactly what you want to have when you don't do max absolutism runs. So yeah, everything is really good right here, except for the gold mine not being devved up all the way, but it's really not a problem. The unassigned merchant is kind of annoying too. Collecting in the Rhineland, no, there's no need to do that. See, if your capital is in Königsberg, you definitely want to move your main trade hub or whatever to Lübeck and then route everything over there. So slight negatives on that, but no big deal. Really, just assign that merchant. So yeah, everything is looking pretty good. Doing some culture conversion as well. Let's take a look at that. What's Prussian primary culture? What is being converted? So yeah, some of these right here, I guess these are the ones that are being converted. So really nothing too important over there. Now let's go over here in this interface and let's take a look at the local autonomy and the states. Obviously everything stated, autonomy lowered everywhere. That's pretty nice. In the buildings tab, let's take a look at the marketplaces. They haven't even been built up in all of the relevant provinces. You can put the 3 down over here. Let's see, have they been upgraded? Yes, some have been upgraded, but some you can upgrade, especially Danzig and Königsberg. So important to get on that right now. Then let's take a look at the courthouses. Not built everywhere, but they don't need to be built everywhere for this run, so that's completely okay with what this player has. Let's take a look at the workshops. Yeah, pretty much in most of the relevant provinces built up. You could definitely get some more cloth ones, salt ones, iron ones over here, paper one, but aside from that, it's looking pretty nice. Taking a look at the churches, yeah, everything is really nice right there. Barracks, let's see, not a lot of barracks, even though max manpower isn't that big, so definitely build up training fields and barracks and stuff like that. Regimental camps, not too much. And let's take a look at the manufactories now. Yeah, I mean, manufactories have been built up. I really don't have anything negative to say about the buildings. It's just that you could have a couple more, you know, of all the ones that I showed off. So everything is looking pretty nice right there as well. And yeah, man, this campaign isn't looking bad at all, honestly. Even though there are some things I slightly dislike, I'm still leaning towards a 5 right now. You know, the negative things aren't really that negative. Sure, you could rearrange the trade a little bit, and then you got that gold mine too and stuff like that. And if these armies are merged, like I'm assuming, everything is okay right there. Tiny navy right here, just some light ships protecting trade in the northern Baltic Sea. So yeah, everything is looking pretty nice right there. This coalition, though, kind of annoying, not gonna lie. But with all that said, let's take a look at the timeline. Now, this player did not actually say who they started off as. I'm gonna assume Brandenburg. No, it's not Brandenburg. Is it? It's the Teutons. Yeah, we don't see Teuton cores right here, so this player started off as the Teutons. All right, that's the music control panel. Let's take a look at the timeline right here. So starting off as the Teutons, let's see. Not selling this to Brandenburg. Where? Oh, there we go. Initial war versus Poland. A very nice conquest, by the way. So this player took this super early, forming Prussia super early as well, expanding over into the HRE. We could assume this player is in the HRE by now. I actually didn't take a look at that. We'll take a look at it really quickly after this run is done. But yeah, even got provinces over here. These are, of course, its vassals, Prussia's vassals. tiles. They're just not showing up like that because, you know, the timeline is wonky and stuff. So yeah, a lot more expansion over here first rather than in HRE, which I guess you would expect in in a Teuton run. Aragon got Burgundy in a Teuton run as opposed to a Brandenburg run, which Brandenburg still exists, by the way. Maybe they're a subject or something like that. There we go, more expansion here. Austria actually blobbed out quite a lot. I can assume this is due to the HRE being dismantled. That's why usually Austria blobs out this much. There we go, now chilling a bit, slow and steady conquest, not taking too much, but there we go. There was just a big war versus Austria. Now let's see, where's the next expansion gonna come? There we go, even more pushing into Austria, and I think this is sort of the border that we have right now, man. I don't think this player expanded a whole lot more after this. Maybe suffering due to the coalition or something like that, and of course, like I said, these are just visual bugs. So maybe the last couple of years right here focusing on you know, stabilizing the nation and stuff like that, and focusing on the combat ability modifiers and stuff like that. But there we go, we popped out of this. I actually forgot to read what the player said for this run, so let me do it right now. Taco says, chill Prussia game, finish conquering Germany around 1550. Since then I've sat there just trying to get the highest quality troops that I can, and I'm in a coalition lock, and I don't feel like fighting a war. Yeah, pretty simple. And the final thing that I wanted to take a look at is the HRE, which obviously didn't exist, but we don't know when the HRE was disbanded. Of course, we could notice that by Austria blobbing out a lot too. So yeah, man, my initial thoughts on this Prussia campaign are very, very nice. Just some, you know, trade stuff that you could work on over here a little bit more, the gold mines and stuff like that as well. And yeah, maybe you could have picked some other idea groups as well. So even though I said I was leaning towards a 5, I'm definitely still leaning towards a 5, but I don't think it's a 5. So this campaign gets a 4.5 out of 5 from me. Let's move on with the next one. All right, our next campaign right here is a Florence to Italy run by Zecoutinho on July 1st, 1693, and let's see what this player had to say about his campaign. You guys know that I love tall campaigns and stuff like that, especially Florence, one of my favorite nations in the game. So let's see how this player's version of playing tall stacks up compared to my opinion or my playthroughs that are tall. Zecoutinho says, the only thing he says is tall Italy surrounded by marches, started as Florence, year is 1693. Pretty simple, straight to the point, let's jump in. Alright, here we are in our little Italy run, and this is what the map is looking like, man. I gotta say, I do like these borders quite a lot. Pretty much focusing on just the region of Italy / just the Genoa and Venice trade nodes, with the addition of the province of Trent right here, Trentino, whatever you want to call it, that's not in those trade nodes or in this region, but it is Italian culture. So yeah, borders are perfect. I don't have anything negative to say about them. It seems that the Ottomans were beat up quite, Somalia, but quite significantly, and Greece has popped out as well. They're not a subject or anything like that. I swear I thought this had King Andreas first OnlyFans. We'll get to that later. But yeah, let's go into the Great Powers rank number 2 on the Great Powers list. Yeah, with all the institutions embraced, just Spain is ahead of Italy, but as you all know, Spain is always super strong, so nothing negative to say right there. Going over in the court tab, we have Great Doge Augusto de Medici, so still a republic right here, or at least some version of a republic or something like that. We got level 5 advisors, obviously some of them really cheap with all of those you know, what you call it, modifiers stacked and stuff like that, so everything is looking really good right here. In the government tab, Tuscan Latin primary culture, most serene republic, so you flip to a serene republic, interesting, or maybe like that's an empire rank or something like that. I'm not really too familiar, but yeah, all of the Italian cultures right here. You could promote these or, you know, convert them or whatever. 80 out of 80 absolutism. Obviously, in a non-blobbing campaign, you don't really need absolutism at all, but still, everything is looking really good right here. Taking a look at the diplomacy tab, allied to the Commonwealth and Somalia, interesting allies, but could be Ottoman rivals that help this player take down the Ottomans, so nothing negative to say right there. And then we have Croatia as a march, which is looking really good. Hungary as a march as well, looking pretty strong as well. We have Gascony right here, very big, very nice. Geneva and the 3 leagues. Now, the best part about playing with marches and stuff like that that you surround yourself with is that for some reason, these guys always take defensive ideas, and the 3 leagues, by the way, has I think pretty good defensive focused national ideas. No, they don't. Maybe Geneva does. I know some of these guys for sure has it. Yeah, fort defense plus 25% for Geneva. So yeah, take a look at this, man. Croatia defensive first one. Hungary, let's take a look, defensive second one. 3 leagues defensive third one. Geneva defensive second one. Gascony defensive first one. So all of these guys around them have defensive ideas, and even with all of these forts that you have right here as Italy, perfect placement, everything is super nice. I'm digging that. Going over into the economy, actually not making as much money as I thought you would be as a tall Italy / Florence, but you do have quite a few massive stacks over here, which I guess, do cost quite a lot. So aside from that, it is looking pretty good. No gold mines, very nice income from trade, very nice modifiers as well. And yeah, things are actually looking pretty good right here, even though maybe I would expect a little more income, but we'll see why that is soon. Going over in the trade tab, obviously making more than 50% income from trade, which is very nice. 35% goods produced, super sweet. Let me take a look at the merchants while we're here. So a main trade node Genoa, collecting in Venice as well, and then everything over here routing to Genoa and Venice, even though you could tell the guy in Alexandria to route to Genoa, which he actually can do. So maybe that's the only minor little nitpick right here, but aside from that, the entire setup is looking really good. Obviously way ahead of time in every category, 100 innovativeness as expected, and obviously opening up with innovative, man. That's what I like to see. Super nice. Now interestingly, we got innovative Diplo, admin Pluto, quantity trade. Weird order of picking things, if I do say so myself. Obviously, I would take innovative for the first one, but I'd probably go Pluto for my second one right here. And then you definitely want to get like quality as well over here for all the nice modifiers with trade and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know if I would take admin, man. I guess it does have some nice-ish policies. Honestly, though, I actually wouldn't take admin. If I'm being honest, for a run like this, I probably wouldn't take Diplo either, maybe this early on, but yeah, you definitely want to go with the idea groups for making money and stacking modifiers. So, you know, I definitely have economic and infrastructure up right here as well, trade too, and then, you know, something like that. So yeah, aside from that, it is looking pretty good, although not sure on these ideas, if I'm being honest. Definitely a lack of focus on the missions as well. I guess these are the Italian ones, so if you're not expanding, obviously you don't care, so let's not even take a look at that. We got the tax right here, the advisor discount, trade efficiency, goods produced. This one is pretty good, actually. Yeah, more advisor discounts. Yeah, it's looking pretty nice, although you definitely want to pick up like this one. All the trade efficiency ones and the goods produced ones are super important in a run like this, even though you don't have that many of them. Under GovCap, obviously, which is very nice. Some separatists, but those are into vassals, so no big deal. 3 stability, Catholic, obviously everything is Catholic, no need to concern yourself with that, although you do have quite a few papal points you can use on additional modifiers right here, which you definitely should be doing, or at least if you're not clicking these, try to become the Curia controller. Pretty important, by the way, for a run such as this. Level 4 Defender of the Faith, very nice missionary strength as well. In the military tab, 100% army professionalism, no combat modifiers of any sort, so maybe a little bit of a negative on that. Not a lot of discipline, morale is pretty good, massive force limit, 38 combat width, so let's see, 36, 8, 36. Yeah, honestly, pretty almost perfect army composition right here. You just need to build up a couple more cannons. There we go. All you got to do is click twice right here, and that's your very good army composition right here. So yeah, super satisfied with this as well. Let's take a look at the navies. We got the sort of a flagship navy right here, 44, 17, 15, very nice, and then a bunch of light ships protecting trade in various trade nodes, which is super nice. Excellent, man. In the subjects tab, these guys are marshals. Obviously, you could still tell all of these guys to divert trade and stuff like that if they're not this loyal, of course. And over here in the estates, you know, you got 100% crown. That's awesome, and you're maxed out on absolutism. You're not using it. Just give these guys a couple more privileges. Even though this isn't bad, they're super loyal and they give you the modifiers and stuff like that, but you could definitely afford to give these guys a couple of more privileges. Let me just take a look at the cultures briefly right here. Everything is looking pretty good. States and territories, obviously. Going over here in the autonomy lowered everywhere. I actually didn't check some province dev in the Prussia campaign. That's a little negative on my part, but yeah, a bunch of provinces over 40, a lot of provinces over 30. That is looking so nice. So many provinces above 20, as we can see. Yeah, and the least developed province is Corsica, maybe one that was conquered the most recently, so this player didn't have time to get it up to 30. But yeah, extremely high dev even without the subjects. So very nice on the deving and stuff like that. Also, man, how have you not picked up what you call it, where is it? Yeah, how have you not picked up infrastructure or economic for tall gameplay? Yeah, I definitely swap Diplo and admin with infrastructure and economic, if I'm being honest. You want the dev modifiers, the goods produced, the tax, the production efficiency, the trade, everything right there, the construction discounts as well. So yeah, that's definitely a big minus from me. Maybe not big, but definitely a minus not picking up those two idea groups in a tall focused playthrough. Going over into the buildings, we've even unlocked stock exchanges, but let's take a look at the marketplaces first. Yeah, obviously, you know, when you're doing a tall run, eventually you'll dev up all the provinces to where all of them will give you above above 2, you know, bonuses, which is sort of my criteria for building them. But listen, you already have so much trade control, there's really no need. Have they been upgraded? They haven't been upgraded to trade depots, and some are stock exchanges, I guess all the most relevant center of trade ones. So yeah, we're really good right there. Taking a look at the courthouses, not built almost anywhere, but you don't need them. You're still under gov cap. So, you know, if you're chilling, I guess you could at least do it for the province governing cost, the state maintenance, the monthly autonomy change, and the additional number of buildings, which I guess that's not really a modifier, but these buildings don't take up a slot. And when you're so rich, you can definitely build them up. Universities, you definitely want to put these down as well. Super relevant for tall gameplay after they spawn. Workshops and all the high value trade good provinces, except these 4. And have they been upgraded? They actually have been upgraded. At least a lot of them, so, or they haven't. No, yeah, they haven't been upgraded. Definitely make sure to upgrade them. So a little negative on that as well. A couple of churches that can be built. Yeah, upgraded to cathedrals and whatnot. Listen, you're gonna make a lot of money with these army buildings, some barracks, some, and manufactories. You could definitely get in a lot more. So yeah, obviously manufactories are super slow to build. They've unlocked recently, so not really too much to say about that. So yeah, man, negatives that I can take a look at for now, or at least some of the idea groups not picked, focusing more on the buildings maybe. And yeah, those are my negatives, and maybe a little bit on the estate stuff right here and on the papal thingy. But aside from that, campaign is looking really strong. Let's take a look at the timeline. Obviously, expansion will be pretty slow, starting off as Florence, starting off fighting Bologna. We got Siena. Let's see if this player can nab Naples right here in that, you know, perfect sort of opening. But I guess not. There goes Ferrara. Some of these guys may be a subject. There goes Luca and fighting Savoy for Nizza right here. Just chilling at this point, I guess. Maybe some of these guys are subjects. Like I said, we can't really tell right now. There we go. Fought Mantua, fight Genoa. A little more expansion, which is always nice. Fought Milan. We got a Montferrat and Saluzzo right here, and Parma, which could be subjects. There's the expansion of Florence. Very nice. More expansion over here in Venice and guys like that. There we go. That's what I like to see. What's the progress right now? A little bit more expansion over there. So Montferrat and the additional province. More pushing into Venice. There we go. We got Corsica, which is actually, I guess, wasn't too late. Sardinia could be a subject right here. More expansion in the north. Scilly might be a subject here. We actually don't know. We can't tell. There we go. More expansion down south. Pope, obviously, you leave him for last. More expansion down south. Sicily might be a subject. Scilly got some provinces from Austria. There goes Sardinia. There goes Scilly. Croatia's right here. There goes the Pope. And there we go. That's Italy formed. And now I guess we're going to focus on maybe releasing some of those marches. There's the 3 leagues right there. There's Hungary. There's Croatia right there. Geneva taking over Switzerland. I wonder where we're going to see these guys. There we go. Croatia is growing a little bit in the Ottomans. So is Hungary right here. 3 leagues growing in Austria. There's even more blobbing from Croatia. These are all subjects, so let's remember. Geneva, and I think the final one is, what you call it, the blue guys that get popped out from France. So yeah, looking really nice. Yeah, Gascony. There's Gascony. And yeah, really nice run. More expansion from Croatia. Maybe Greece is going to become a subject. And this is what this campaign ended up looking like. You guys know I'm a sucker for tall campaigns, man. This is a really, really good effort for a tall campaign. I like almost everything you did. I like all the subjects, especially that are located around you know, to be even more defensive or something like that as well. But, you know, some of the idea groups that you've not gone with, along with the, you know, slight not focus on buildings and stuff like that, and a couple of the estates and Pope mishaps, this is still not a 5 out of 5 campaign for me, but I'm really, really liking it. And honestly, the negative things I said aren't that big of a deal. So this, just like the Prussia campaign, gets a 4.5 out of 5 from me. Let's move on with the final one, the one I think is the most exciting. And with that, we've arrived to our final campaign of the day, this Papal States campaign by Gaf Rudal on November 15th, 1820, which I think is the most interesting one today. And this is what the player had to say about this campaign. After Protestant became the dominant religion in Europe, the Pope decided it was time to leave Europe behind. Title: The Papal States, the United Papal States. Goal: conquer all US provinces as the Pope. Secondary goal: own Canada, Cuba, Central and South America as vassals. Time frame: 1444, 1821, and then, you know, he lists a bunch of stuff about the version, the mods, and the DLCs. Now, he says, note, I ran out of time. I am a slowpoke, so I couldn't conquer the rest of the New World. I know I had more governing capacity, but I only wanted to own the US for our purposes. Let's see what this campaign is all about. All right, here we aren't in our little Papal States campaign. What's up with that? The Pope is nowhere to be found. Rome is owned by Spoleto, and interestingly enough, the Ottomans have blown up as well. Very weird world over here, but you know, let's get to where the Pope is actually at, which is the Papal States, the United States of the Pope, whatever you want to call it. This is what this campaign is looking like, man. And we got normal Canada, Big Mexico, French Colombia apparently, Quito, Portuguese Brazil, and Rio Rio de Plata right here. We'll see what's up with that. But these are the subjects, man. We got Canada, Big Mexico, Big Cuba, apparently. I'm guessing these are client states. Yeah, they definitely are client states. Quito is just a regular, you know, what you call it, Inca nation, and Spoleto is a subject as well. But yeah, man, a very interesting campaign. Going over into the Great Powers list, we are number 1 on the Great Powers list, very far ahead of France, which is the second tier power, you know, and we are an economic hegemon, which is really, really nice. Okay, going over here into the court tab, we got Pope Innocentius the 10th right here, 646, really strong, by the way, and level 5 advisors in every category, which is really, really nice. Then over in the government tab, obviously, we're the papacy, a lot of cultures promoted and accepted. Umbrian is still the main culture, so interestingly that there hasn't been a culture shift, but a lot of these provinces are actually colonized or something like that. The rest of the ones that are obviously, you know, the native cultures have been what you call it, conquered, and you know, I guess some of these were owned by Castile as well, assuming, you know, off of the fact of the ones that are promoted. But yeah, lots of non-accepted as well, no big deal on that. Going over in the diplomacy tab, we can see that there are no allies. Oh, this is Quito. Going over in the diplomacy tab, we can see that we are like the Hungary and the Commonwealth, which may, you know, the Pope may have helped them out, defeat the Ottomans or something like that. Quito and Spoleto are actually marches, and then we have client states, which are what you call it, Big Cuba and Big Mexico, and then oh, client state marches, sorry, and then a normal client state is Canada right here. So very interesting role play in this campaign, man. I'm liking this a lot. Over in the economy tab, 1 gold mine, Chumash. Now I don't exactly remember where Chumash was. It's right here. That's right, just like the little town in Grand Theft Auto 5, but not devved up to 10, so a little minus on that, but no big deal. Making no income for vassals. Obviously, there aren't any vassals. They're just client states. Very nice income from trade, a lot from production, and a lot from tax as well, surprisingly. But things are looking really good right here, making very, very nice income. In the trade department, obviously, with this New World setup, man, you wouldn't really be making that much from trade. Your main, you know, sort of portion of income wouldn't be from trade, but this is still pretty decent. A quarter, maybe not that good, but I would expect 30 to 40%, honestly. 50% goods produced, that's always super, super nice. In the tech tab, behind on, well, actually no, ahead on tech, but this is the final tech, so nothing to take a look at. It's 1820, of course. And then in the ideas tab, we got exploration and expansion. Obviously, the Pope decided to colonize. I do love a colonial Pope run, since there are missions to tell you to do that, and government reforms and stuff like that, so that's always super nice. But quantity, admin, quality, influence, offensive, humanist. Interesting that you would pick humanist as the Pope, but obviously, you know, to, you know, not deal with rebellions and stuff like that. So yeah, excellent idea group picks. At a certain point, you could have probably abandoned exploration and expansion altogether and just gotten 2 whole new idea groups once you're done colonizing stuff over here, but it's really, really not a big deal. This is the papal mission tree. Obviously, we don't want to take a look at it too much, since a lot of these missions are, you know, focused on Europe and stuff like that. And then the decisions and policies, all of these are looking pretty good. Let's see if there's an important one that hasn't been taken, but I don't think so. I'm not noticing any economy focused ones, which are usually the most important, so everything is looking really, really good right there. No Kingdom of God either, but then again, I guess as the papal states, not the Kingdom of God states or whatever. Under GovCap as well, quite a lot, so everything is looking really nice right there. In the religion tab, not everything is Catholic, but you know, the ones that aren't are being converted. These are, oh, this is this, right? Obviously we would have this, since this is, you know, US too. We got what you call it, Alaska as well, which is really nice too. Tier 4 Defender of the Faith. In the military department, you got 10% compatibility in all of the, you know, the different types of units. Just above 60 army professionalism, really nice morale, very good discipline as well. Combat with us 40, massive force limit 2, and we got a bunch of boats as well. Let's take a look at these armies right here. So yeah, army composition definitely not ideal. You sort of want to have it like I don't know, 44, 40, something like that. That's probably what I would have, honestly. 44, 40, or maybe or actually no, like 48, 40, something like that, or 44, 440. But it's really not that bad, you know, not bad enough to say anything negative about it. Let me take a look at the fleets. Just one massive fleet right here, composed of everything. Got the heavy from the US and from whoever this is. I don't know what country that is, but got another flagship capture right here, which is super, super nice. And yeah, really, really big army size as well. Really good at generals too. This is the subjects, man. Nothing, you know, too much we can say about this. A lot of these guys are transferring trade, which is super nice. It seems that they are pretty powerful themselves based on their massive armies and stuff like that. And let me actually take a look at absolutism. Max absolutism is 90, current is 68, and some of the estates have privileges active. You could definitely give the burghers something else too, and crown land ownership is definitely super satisfactory. So yeah, man, it's looking really nice. I love a wacky out there campaign like this. The subjects are excellent as well. You could have definitely gotten to South America, but it's no big deal that you didn't, and honestly, I am digging this quite a lot. Let me take a look at the states now. Everything full stated, which is super nice. I guess you'd want to have Puerto Rico. I guess you want to own Puerto Rico yourself. There's a little miss right there, and then the US Virgin Islands as well. And let's see, is there a Guam being owned right here? Where exactly is Guam? I don't know, but yeah, you definitely have missed a couple of territories that you want to leave as territories and not full state. No big deal, just messing around on that. Going over in the autonomy tab, autonomy has not been lowered everywhere as much as it could have, but these are, I guess, the provinces that were conquered the last or something like that, so that's why it hasn't been. It's not really a big deal. We already took a look at the cultures. Let's go in to the buildings tab. Marketplaces built in all of the Roland provinces, obviously. Have they been upgraded to trade depots? Yes, they have. Have they been upgraded to stock exchanges? Yes, they have. I think courthouses not in a lot of provinces, but obviously, still under GovCap, so it's really not a big deal that there aren't that many of these. No universities either, which isn't really that big of a deal in a campaign like this. Taking a look at the workshops, yeah, present pretty much almost everywhere. Have they been upgraded to a counting house? Yes, they have. Taking a look at the churches right here, you could definitely get a lot more of these. Cathedrals, yeah, sure, you could get a lot more of these too. Army buildings, not really that much, but it's really not a big deal since the force limit is so massive. And manufactories obviously present in literally pretty much every single province except for these two, at least that have building slots available. Furnaces, a couple of furnaces here and there as well. And obviously no need to take a look at stuff in the subjects. We don't really do that. So really nice papal state run right here, man. Completely deciding to abandon Europe. Giving all of this to Spoleto right here is super nice. I'm digging that. Everything that's happened over here with the rest of Europe as well. Protestant Reformation, not really even that powerful. Didn't warrant the Pope to leave Europe, but I guess he was so salty that he had to leave. France and stuff like that is reformed along with England, and then we got Protestant in Germany, which is pretty cool. So yeah, definitely a very interesting run, man. Let me just take a look at the dev right quick on some provinces right here. So a couple of them devved up to above 30. Let's take a look at the capital. What's actually the capital here of the Pope? The capital is in Florida, I guess. Yeah, there you go, man. The Pope lives in Miami now. That's a title for a movie right there. But yeah, I've likened this quite a lot, man. The dev isn't really bad at all either. So a super cool campaign. Let's take a look at the timeline now. So obviously, we want to take a look at how long this player stayed in Europe and how long before he starts colonizing. Let's go with speed 4 as always. So not a lot of expansion right here, I guess. Oh, there we go. Perfect expansion into Naples. Well, I'm guessing around the 1490s to 1520s is when he'll leave Europe. So he did expand over here as well, man. I actually didn't notice this. Not a lot of expansion up north. Venice ended up owning all of that. So I guess by now we have colonizing, or maybe we don't. Yes, we do. There we go. The Pope is in Florida right now. Colonization is going pretty slow, obviously. So there we go. Already losing or / giving up provinces over here. We can notice more colonialization or colonization, whatever, over here. So there we go. Rapid expansion right now. I'm interested in seeing how fast or when exactly does the abandonment of Europe happen, but we still have provinces over there. We'll get back to that. There we go. More expansion over here in the Gulf areas. In the southeast United States right here, conquering the Caribbean as well. Papal Maghreb right now as well. We didn't have that earlier. I wonder how this player lost that. There we go. We got Papal Colombia as well. Pushing into Mexico pretty rapidly as well. Not fighting the colonizers right now, like Spain and England, obviously, because they're pretty strong. There we go. Spoleto has taken over all of the provinces over in Europe. Spain is down here, so we'll get back to that. But pretty slow expansion over here in the mid-game. There we go. More expansion this way, or colonization. So now, if you got some strong allies, you could definitely push into some of these guys right here. Boom, there we go. Massive war versus these guys. Obviously, you don't have to fight the overlords since you're a New World nation, but if they, enforced peace or threatened war or anything like that, obviously you can't really do it. But there's the Louisiana Purchase right there. The US maybe has some strong allies that made them unable to fight them. There we go. More expansion in the west right here in Mexico, as we can see. Provinces lost over here and over here and over here, obviously. Now we're just fighting some colonial nations, fighting the US. Some more. Vinland is expanding right there, as we can see. We already got Alaska over there. Now a point of chilling right now, not doing too much, as we can see. or maybe we can't actually see what's going on if it's going on through subjects or something like that. But there we go, some of these guys popping out as well. There's the client state right there. No Canadian client state just yet. Quito, obviously the subject has taken over a lot of provinces over here, so great on that. There we go, expanding Big Mexico. Big Cuba is already a thing as well, which is super nice. And we're nearing the end right here, so there's Canada. Rapid expansion over in Canada, and that's almost, yeah, that is what our game has ended up looking like. So very cool, man, very unique. Not something we've seen too far. We haven't had a New World Exodus in save game reviews, and it's been so long since I've seen anything like this. You know, we really don't do too many of these campaigns, but yeah, it's super nice, especially since it's as the Pope as well, and I'm liking the client states as well. I'm liking everything right here, and even though there was some negatives on some things right here, this campaign is just too much fun to focus on all of those slight negatives. And even if this was a normal campaign, not an Exodus, not a wacky campaign like this, I still think everything is super cool. So I'm definitely gonna give this campaign, our final one for today, a 5 out of 5. And that's about all we have for today. But yeah, man, those were all our save games that we had to review today. Very interesting and unique and cool ones that we haven't seen or haven't had for a while. Like I said at the start of the video, I go by order in which they were posted, but there were just so many Georgias, Persias, Mamluks, and Byzantiums that I decided to just scroll through the campaigns and find ones that were most interesting and unique to me. And definitely let me know in the comments below if you want me to continue, reviewing them in order of what they were posted, or if you want me to, just browse the list and see what comes off as most interesting to me. But if I do that, then definitely whenever the campaigns were posted, you have a chance of your campaign getting reviewed as well. And as always, if you do want to submit a save game for review, make sure to drop it in the Save Games for Vid channel over in the Discord. Tell me a little bit about the campaign, post a picture too, why not? And maybe you'll get lucky enough to get yours reviewed, although there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of submissions, so of course no promises, but really cool ones for today, and I'm looking forward to reviewing some more. If you enjoyed this video, don't hesitate to leave a like. It really helps out a lot. And if you like the content and want to see more videos like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of them, and you can become a member today and join the Discord. The link is in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time with another EU4 video.